kids and a great career and I'm a leader in education. The only reason I'm able to do that is because a handful of very special individuals gave me the 3 tips, the 3 strategies that I'm going to share with you today. And it's all about language. It's about 3 words that I used a lot, that I held as my own. And these 3 words were the words that a handful of teachers challenged me to change and offered me the opportunity of choice. They opened a window of opportunity if only I could be brave enough to make the choice. So the first of those 3 words is can't. I can't do it. I can't. Now what I know about that now, and I didn't before, is that I can't is the first 2 words of a 3-word sentence. The actual full sentence is I can't yet. That's different to I can't. That just means that currently you don't have the skills, or you haven't practiced enough, or you haven't generated the self-belief, or you're not choosing to say it's possible. That's the bridge between I can't and I can't yet. When you feel I can't, say to yourself, what would it look like if I could? What would that look like? I can't do it. So what would it look like if you could? And start thinking that way round. That has opened so many doors, mind doors for me. The second one is don't. This is a massive one. Girls don't do that. Brown people don't do it. Poor people don't do that. I remember growing up as a teenager and feeling that I wasn't allowed. I literally wasn't allowed to do stuff. One of the things I wasn't allowed to was fancy Nick Kershaw because he was white and I'm brown and I'm not allowed to fancy. I think, one of my friends, Shelley, told me that and I just accepted it. But even if there was a rule book somewhere that someone had written that says, brown, poor girls who work out are not allowed to do this, and I'm in charge and that's how it is, which is kind of the situation in some countries. But even if that is the case, it's still a choice. You can choose to accept it, like I did when Shelley said, you can't fancy white guys. Okay. Or you can choose to question it. Not in a, well, you can get angry and stuff. You'd be, what I've tried to do is to be neutral about it. Well, it's interesting that you think that, but I'm interested in why. What's the ruling behind that? What's the rationale? What would happen if I fell in love with a white guy? What would that look like? Where would the damage be? Where's the potential happiness? I'm just questioning. And that takes skill. That requires a lot of courage to question a lot of the time. Because don't isn't about what's allowed and what isn't. Don't is the barrier to success. Because success is not how hard you work or who your parents are or how much money you've got or what your situation is or whether you're smart or not. Success is down to one thing. The barrier to success is one word, don't. Because success is about expectation. It's about your expectation of yourself. It's about other people's expectations of you. Expectation does come down to choice. And at the end of the day, you can expect that this won't happen because I'm not good enough. And you'll be right. Or you can expect that, what if I could? What if I could do that? I actually had an imaginary friend, I think, when I was a teenager called Taniqua. And I would want to do something or have an idea. And Taniqua would sit on my shoulder and say, you're not good enough, girl. What? No, you can't do that. You're not allowed. No. She was my expectation guru. She's like a vulture clutching onto my shoulder, telling me what I couldn't do. And at one point, when I was in my 20s, I swapped Taniqua for Tarquin. Tarquin was a guy. He was white, he was male, he was middle class. And if anybody needed to volunteer, Tarquin would be like, yeah, I'll do it. Because Tarquin didn't even consider the possibility that he's not allowed. It's like, of course I'll do it, why not? And that helped turn my why me into why not me. Expectation. So expect highly of yourself. If you want reach, you're going to have to stretch. If you want to reach for the stars, that involves stretching and that is hard work because you've got to expect something more than people expect of you sometimes. The last word is won't. Won't is so hard because it's kind of a protection. I won't do it. I'm not doing that. I won't pass that exam. Well, I won't care. Won't is about mindset. And here's how it worked for me. If I don't try, if I make like I don't care, if I'm not bothered, like whatever, and then I fail, if I don't revise and then I fail, well, I didn't revise, did I? So, but if I worked hard and tried and then failed, oh my gosh, I couldn't cope with that. Awful, I'd failed. And this is the crazy thing. Not trying because you don't want to fail because you're so scared. Being terrified of making a mistake, so not having a go in case you make a mistake. That is such an easy way out. That's a massive open door. because it allows you to never challenge yourself, to never engage, to never dream anything impossible, to stay within the box that you've been put in the whole time. You know, failure is the most important thing you're ever going to face. Failure is where the learning happens. If you don't fail, it's like a ladder. The failures, you've got two long poles, yeah, sides, and then the rungs are all the little rungs, right? They're failures. So when you fail, you get a rung, and you put it on your failure ladder and you stand on it. And that means you're a bit higher, you're a bit closer to the top, closer to success. Then you do some learning, that's the gap, the air. Then you fail again, so you get another rung and you stand on that. And the more failures you get, the higher you get to climb. But if you don't fail, you just got a bunch of firewood and you're going nowhere. You've got to fail first, fail fast, fail early. Aim for failure, aim for stellar failure. Be a failure ninja, because that is how you move forward. The real boldness that is required is that when you fail, you get back up. Not once, but again and again and again, because you expect to be able to succeed. I can't tell you what this has meant to me, this whole mindset shift, which has been facilitated by just 5 teachers in my life that have questioned me and put these words in. Just getting rid of can't, don't and won't has completely revolutionised my life, and I'm still learning and benefiting from it today. Authenticity like that, though, ladies, it requires courage and it requires vulnerability. Vulnerability is not a bad thing. It's incredibly powerful, as long as you retain a steady ship, a neutrality, and you understand that the bravery that is asked of you is above and beyond what you'd ever expected to give. But you can do it. So be bold, change, and get rid of can't, don't, and won't. You're better than that.